Sasa wale watu walikuwa na kaa hivi wakipanga ati vile watasambaratisha mlima, mtafute kazi nyingine ya kufanya.
The Jubilee Party held its grassroots leaders meeting at Murang'a County, and Uhuru Kenyatta attended alongside Dr. Fred Matiang'i and other top leadership of the Jubilee Party. Ladies and gentlemen, I was very keen on what Uhuru Kenyatta was going to say, because that is the person right now who is running the Jubilee Party. And of course, from his speech, there are a number of things I was able to borrow, which I want to share with you on their impact in the Mount Kenya region and also in the entire country, because Uhuru Kenyatta right now is a national figure. And that's what I want to take you through. But before I do so, if this is the first time you're watching my videos at Mukwa Times, please take a second or two to subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. Without much wasting of time, allow me to dive into this topic here today. There are a number of things that Uhuru Kenyatta said which really have a great impact in the Kenyan politics. Number one, he emphasized that he's going to be very active when it comes to the Jubilee Party operations.
Mimi natarajia majaliwa ya Mwenyezi Mungu, tukifika huko mapema mwaka ujao, tumejipanga, tumejiandaa kufanya uchaguzi wa kitaifa ambapo viongozi watachaguliwa wa chama na wale ambao watasimama pamoja, si ndio? Ndio sasa tujipambe na tujitayarishe kwa uchaguzi wa 2026. Natawidhania.
And in fact, he's even going to campaign for their candidate, Dr. Fred Matiang'i. Jubilee Party is going to have elections next year. And Uhuru Kenyatta also stressed that he will attend to ensure that all those Jubilee Party elections are done smoothly and in the right way. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not just a statement. It shows clearly that Uhuru Kenyatta is coming back to politics, meaning is going to influence entirely on what is going to happen in 2027. And apart from that, he's also going to have a huge influence on who is going to win a seat in the Mount Kenya region. Right now, Gachagua is leading. But so long as it comes to the times of elections, money works. And if Jubilee is well moneyed, there's a likelihood that they can also get a number of seats from that region. That shows the mountain can be united against Ruto, but they are going to divide seats, in that the DCP party is likely not to have the entire control of the Mount Kenya region as it was expected before. Number two, Uhuru Kenyatta warned the people of Jubilee Party, especially the leaders, who keep on attacking Rigathi Gachagua. In fact, if you are wondering the type of people that he was talking to, listen to this gentleman here.
About this one-term and two-term thing, especially how it affects Mount Kenya. Part of it, of course, comes from the fact that Gachagua is trying to indoctrinate a region to believe that Ruto will be one term. Unfortunately, this is in 2025. So even just assuming that it's going to be possible, it means Ruto is not going to leave office for another 2 years, right? All things remaining constant, God willing. And the question we were asking is, assuming he's actually going to be one term, what are we negotiating? What are we putting on the table? How strategic are we being that to make sure that during this one term, he comes out and leaves us with something?
His name is Ngunjiri Wambugu. That guy wakes up very early in the morning every day to simply look at what has Gachagua said, what has happened, and how is Gachagua taking it. He does not really come up with anything. It's like Gachagua is the president, William Ruto is the opposition. Now he keeps on talking about Rigathi Gachagua and portray him how negative he is. Yet you are in Jubilee Party planning to get out President William Ruto. How I wish this guy could have woken up in the morning and just start criticizing President William Ruto. But when you check very well, recently there's a law that was passed. That is the cyber crime bill that was passed from Parliament and William Ruto signed it into law. A gentleman like Ngunjiri Wambugu, who understands things to do with online content creation, who wakes up every morning and gets his phone and starts creating content. I expect that at least he could have enlightened the public on that bill and also criticize it where necessary. But now it is like that has not happened. He only says Rigathi Gachagua was the negative person in this country. That is not the only one. The other one is Jeremiah Kioni, who kept on moving from one radio station to another, TV station to another, simply to criticize Rigathi Gachagua and try to describe how Rigathi Gachagua has not been a good leader. Such kind of activities did not augur well with Uhuru Kenyatta. And yesterday, he had to say it categorically that he does not want to hear anybody who is attacking Rigathi Gachagua in any way.
na niä kä o nä secretary general nä ngå kwä ra kå rä niä maå ndå macio ma hä ndä ciothe gå thoma mtandao andå nä ndiå na aroiga arå gamä rä ire Jubilee mararuma Gachagua na kå u araruma å rä a å ngä ä ndikwenda maå ndå macio magä kodi na tå iguithanie ithuä tå tirä kä ama kä airu näguo o må tongoria nä aheo gä tä o gä ake arie å rä a arenda nawe å rå game nawe warie ciaku må ingä ndå gå tua kana nä atä niä macio niä ndikwenda mbara ici citarä kå rä a irä citarä kå rä a irä nä nonsense
He reiterated that these people are one. They are one. So therefore, he needs to be respected just like any other leader. Now, that statement that Uhuru Kenyatta made, that move itself, it is politically very significant. Why? When it comes to the relationship between Uhuru Kenyatta and Rigathi Gachagua thrives best when Uhuru Kenyatta and him are not in good terms. But now, it seems like regardless of the past they have, Uhuru Kenyatta has decided to put their differences aside, just like Rigathi Gachagua did, for them to work together. And that's why he gave such friendly comments about Rigathi Gachagua. Ladies and gentlemen, when they are friendly, Uhuru Kenyatta benefits. When they are at loggerheads, Rigathi Gachagua benefits because he'll get the sympathy of the people of Mount Kenya. And when Uhuru Kenyatta humbles himself, he will as well attract sympathy, and apart from that, he will attract back the leadership. And in fact, if you've not heard what the people of Mount Kenya had to share about Uhuru Kenyatta's statement, here it is.
Sasa wale watu walikuwa na kaa hivi wakipanga ati vile watasambaratisha mlima, mtafute kazi nyingine ya kufanya. Kama ni kwa mganga mlo mnaenda, huo mganga muenjoy, muende mchukue pesa yenu. Mambo ya kusambaratisha mlima, hiyo iwezekani. Hiyo iwezekani. Uhuru Kenyatta na Gachagua watashikana. Na mwenye hata kuwa hiyo lineup, mwenye hata kuwa hiyo lineup ataona moto. Na bado tunajua mnapanga kufukuza Kindiki. Sasa mjipange. Mount Kenya is one divisible block behind Rigathi Gachagua. Hiyo ni mambo tumwambie mapema, tumwambie kila siku. Watu watafute kazi ya kufanya. Mama gawa mlima imekwama.
That's a clear indication that the people of Mount Kenya liked it and they have started embracing Uhuru Kenyatta. In fact, there are celebrations right now that Uhuru Kenyatta and Rigathi Gachagua are now together. That statement also shows one simple thing. Uhuru Kenyatta and Rigathi Gachagua are working together fast, but most importantly, the mountain is now sealed completely. There have been fears that Uhuru Kenyatta might divide the Mount Kenya votes. Being against Rigathi Gachagua might stress Rigathi Gachagua a lot. So, when Uhuru Kenyatta decides now they have to recognize Rigathi Gachagua's ability, ladies and gentlemen, that means very well that the mountain has become one once again against President William Ruto, not just in the grassroots, but also within the leaders. That is very important, especially when it comes to 2027 general elections. Meaning, William Ruto is now almost sure, unless one of them joins him, that he does not have the Mount Kenya votes. And there will be 5.2 million voters who will be voting against him come 2027. So he has to work hard, very hard indeed, to ensure at least he gets to replace these numbers, because it is tough. From a distance, when Uhuru Kenyatta chose a friendly way of operation, I have a strong feeling that there's a likelihood Uhuru Kenyatta wants to take the control of the Mount Kenya region. As I stated it, when there are angles between Uhuru Kenyatta and Gachagua benefits because he gets more support within the grassroots. But now when there's a friendly way of operation, Rigathi Gachagua will be compelled to humble himself also to Uhuru Kenyatta. So if Uhuru Kenyatta today wakes up in the morning and says, all of you come to Ishaweri, definitely Rigathi Gachagua will be part of the team. And in fact, Uhuru Kenyatta can state it, Rigathi Gachagua will lead the team to Ishaweri. That's a clear indication that Uhuru Kenyatta might likely take over the Mount Kenya region as Rigathi Gachagua takes over as the main warrior of the 2027 general elections against President William Ruto. And Rigathi Gachagua indeed has taken over. Last but not least, Uhuru Kenyatta making such kind of a statement is a clear sign that Rigathi Gachagua has proven to be a man, that he cannot just be ignored and he cannot be countered. Jeremiah Kioni once came out and said, this guy, you can't counter him, you cannot manage. And now Uhuru Kenyatta has said, don't abuse him. Those are similar statements, so those said by different people in different ways. But the fact is, it's like Rigathi Gachagua has proven to them that he's not an easy person to deal with. So they have to sit down and craft a way. And the way things seem to be, Rigathi Gachagua was taking the Mount Kenya region completely away from Uhuru Kenyatta, as Uhuru Kenyatta was remaining Komata with the Jubilee Party. And in fact, Uhuru Kenyatta also feared that Jubilee might not get votes in Mount Kenya, especially members of parliament, if they go against Rigathi Gachagua. So working with him is the only option that can be able to give Jubilee Party leadership in the Mount Kenya region. Also, ladies and gentlemen, for Matiang'i to get support, Uhuru Kenyatta must be in good terms with the people of Mount Kenya and be in good terms with Rigathi Gachagua, at least for Matiang'i to be considered if Matiang'i is going to be the flag bearer of the united opposition. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, it's also showed very well that the opposition now, it is united. And in fact, if you missed it, listen to David Murathe, who was speaking in the launch of the book of Justin Muturi, where he was categorically saying it that Rigathi Gachagua is the person going to lead the war against William Ruto from the Mount Kenya region. I don't know what's your take, but those are a few things that I was able to borrow from the entire speech of Uhuru Kenyatta. Thank you so much. See you next time for more videos.